Hi, I'm Aaron. I am a WordPress developer, and as you can see, I've written a couple GoDaddy articles in the past, and this one is going to be about page builders. And I felt like the easiest way to display the page builders is by a video. I also have the article that I'll link in at the bottom of this on YouTube. So let's just start. The four page builders that I am reviewing are Beaver Builder, Elementor, Divi, and SiteOrigin's page builder, and I'll just call that SiteOrigin. And the reason why I've picked these four is because they've been around for a long time. They also have, I think Elementor has 1 million users, Beaver Builder has 500,000, SiteOrigin has I think over 1 million, and Divi is kind of weird because it's not in the repository, so I don't know how many that are actually using Divi, but nonetheless, I know that there's a ton of people out there using it because I'm pretty heavily involved in the WordPress community, and I run into people using Divi on a regular basis. But let's just jump in. So I just activated the Beaver Builder Lite version. So I'm going to be comparing the Lite version and the Pro version, and then some extra add-ons. So I just activated it. I'm going to go to Pages and hit Add New. And you can see that we're using Gutenberg. We can go ahead and hit Use Standard Editor, and Beaver Builder won't be involved at all. So you're not forced to use Beaver Builder, and I don't think any of these page builders require you to use their tool. You can just write a page like you normally would. We'll just call this test page VB, and I'm going to launch it. As you can tell, I'm using the 2019 theme that was just released with WordPress 5.0. And what this allows us to do is modify the content right here in this box. And we can very easily add these modules. Now remember, this is the Lite version, and I really think that the Pro version gives you a ton more features, but I'll show you. Before Gutenberg existed, it was difficult to have some simple things like 3 images or 3 blocks of content all side by side. Well, these page builders allow us to create these columns. So I can very easily just drag how many rows I want. I can go in and adjust them if I want to. And if you want to add content, you just hit the plus button and go over to our modules. We can drag over a photo module. We go to the library, hit select. Now we have that picture in there, and hit save. Then we want to have some content. Let's say 2 images and then a description. So I'll do, I did HTML. You can drop HTML in there. I meant to do a text editor. There are 2 pictures below. Nope. Hit save. And let's go ahead and add one more photo from the media library. And obviously you can add other images. Full size is overkill. Let's go with that, hit save. And so there's our content. If we wanted to add a video, we can, audio, and whatnot. Now, I'm not going to get into the sidebar, but we can do some sidebar stuff. So when we hit done and publish, our page should look identical to what we built, and it does. So let me show you the Pro version, or the paid version. The page builder by itself is, I think it's $50. I'll have it all in the article. And the Pro version gives you more modules. So I'm going to go to Plugins. I'm going to activate the Lite version. Activate the Pro, which will deactivate the Lite. Now we can go back to modifying that page. I think I called it sample, but I know it had BB in there. There it is. So I'm going to go back to the page builder. Now we have not just these articles or modules, we have a lot other icons in there. So if we, or options in here, start sliding content in there. If you want to have your post show up, you can, or you could do slides in there. Do a lot of functionality. Icons, contact form, call to actions, call outs, all of those things. It gives you a ton of control with the paid version. Now let me show you what the community has that's out there. So I'm going to hit done. I'm going to discard it because I didn't change anything. Okay, we have things that have been added to the community by the community, and some of the ones that I use regularly is the Power Pack and the Ultimate add-ons. And both of them are paid. I think they both have free versions, but I have the paid version, so I'm going to activate those. Just to show you how much is out there. And I know that Elementor has tons of third-party modules like this too. Divi does too, etc., etc. And I do have a license, but I'm not going to put it in here. So let's go back and modify that page again. So now you should see even more when we go over here to Power Pack modules. And there are a ton of them. So if you're looking for a specific feature, so let's say we want to do a content grid. So we want to display all the posts in a fancy way. Drag that module over. Do it grid style. It gives you a ton of options. Style 1, style 4. Don't want to have the author. We don't want to have the date. Show content, no. So now we just have some titles in there. I know it's not pretty right now, but it can be when you spend a little time tweaking it. And then that's just the Power Pack modules. And then there is Ultimate Beaver Builder modules that can give you similar functionality. But if you're looking for a specific feature, just Google it, find the module you're looking for, and then buy it. There, you can do just about anything you want. In fact, I'm going to be doing a video on how to build a site from scratch using Beaver Builder with my next GoDaddy article. Let me explain one more thing before I move on to the next page builder. Again, the whole point in this is so you kind of see how each page builder works. There is some more add-ons that Beaver Builder makes, and it's called the Beaver Themer. And the Beaver Themer allows you to basically create layouts for the header and footer. So I'm going to activate that. And another thing I'm going to activate is, because I'm paying for the higher tier, I get access to the Beaver layout or Beaver theme. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to that. All right, let's go to the home page now. The theme will look different, obviously. So this is what it looks like. I've had a menu activated there, but that's what it looks like. And if we want to modify the header, let's say we don't like the way this looks because it's default and boring, no offense, we have that ability now because we have the paid higher up version of it. So let's see, if I go to themer layout, okay, we're going to hit add new, and we want to replace the header so we have full control over the header. We could obviously modify the footer or archive, etc., but we want to deal with the header. So we're going to add the layout, and we can tell it where we want this header to show up. We're going to do it on the entire site, but you can do it on, let's say you wanted the blog to have a different header in here. You could tell it on all archives, do this layout, but I'm going to do entire site. I'm going to make it sticky. I'm going to hit publish. I'm going to launch it. And now we have full control over our header. So if you wanted to put your logo in here, and I'm sure I don't have a logo in here, that'll be a good example, but we have an empty box here, so I will go over here, go to my content, drag a photo over here, and let's say we like unicorns, select the photo, go with the thumbnail, hit save, and then boom. So hopefully this shows you how powerful a tool like Beaver Builder, when you're using all of the things that are available, how much you can control. All right, I want to make sure that the Divi theme is not active, and it is not. And then I want to make sure that the Divi plugin is. So I will deactivate this and activate this. We'll go and add a new page, and we will try to be fair. I know I spent a lot of time with Beaver Builder, but some of it was just kind of showing the basics. So we'll call this Page Builder 1. And just like Beaver Builder, you can use the default editor, or you can click on, in this case, a purple button. And use Divi. And I'm going to try to do the exact same thing, where we have 2 images and then some text. Okay, I'm going to start building, but from scratch. So just like Beaver Builder and Elementor, they have some pre-made layouts that we could load, which is pretty cool if you're trying to get something up very quickly, but I'm trying to show the interface here. So we have our columns, just like other page builders. I'm going to go with 3 columns, and then it just lists the modules that are available. Now, Divi does not have a free version. It's all done through the Elegant Themes people, and you have to buy through them. There's no trial, etc., etc. But we'll just show you because it's a very popular page builder. Show you how easy it is to complete these tasks. I'm not going to change the size because I'm sure I could use a thumbnail, but let's not. Image, where did image go? Image. Done. Now we need one more module, and we want to go with text. And I'll just see what we can do. Text. One thing I do like about Divi is that I can just hit the button versus having to drag a module over. It just takes a little while to get used to, and I'm sure each page builder is different in that aspect. They already have text for me. Thanks. So pretty quickly, we have what we were looking for. And again, this is using the page builder, not a theme. And so we can only modify what is in the page because it is a page builder. And to save it, it's a little weird. Push this button and hit save. Over here, publish. And it's going to look exactly the same. And this is funny. I've saved it. Okay, now that it is saved, we can just exit the visual builder. But I want to show you a couple features here. I have a lot of control here with the interface itself. What do we want it to look like on mobile? Which is kind of nice. And then we have other modules, like we can load a module that is from that we've used in the past. Beaver Builder has the same feature, so does Elementor, etc., etc. Just the interface is slightly different. So we want to hit save and exit. And the content should look exactly the same, and it does. So that's Divi. Now let me show you what Divi does if you decide to move away from Divi. Let's say for some reason you want to try a different page builder, or you're just tired of using a page builder. The plugin is shortcode driven. So if I hit deactivate and hit refresh, this is what we get. So we are stuck with this content that's basically not usable. Now, Beaver Builder and Elementor and the like, they have an issue too. It's not going to have all of the CSS and all the layouts, all the styling that we need, but at least it's going to have images and it's going to have text. So it's going to have the HTML markup. It's not going to be shortcode driven. And this is shortcode driven, and that's my number one, I guess, pet peeve with Divi, is that it is shortcode driven. But if you're going to stick with Divi for a long time, it's not that big a deal. But let's go back, we can activate it. Now there is the Divi theme also, so I'm going to touch on that briefly. I'm going to activate that. So now we have Divi. I'm going to go over here, hit refresh. Our content's still there, and now we have some more control over the menu and header and footer and things like that. So that's the interface for Divi. I know I could spend a lot more time on it, but I'm trying to keep it kind of short and just so show some basics. So let's move on to Elementor. I have Elementor set up in here. Let's just make sure that we have the plugins active. And we're going to go with the free version for right now. And to be totally honest, I have the least experience with Elementor. So I'm going to just go through their tutorial, basically create your first page. So it throws you into the front end. So if I had gone and hit add new page, it would have taken me to the front end. Now we have, once again, the box that we can manipulate. And then on the left here, we have all of our modules. Now, this obviously has, the free version has a lot more control, a lot more modules than what Beaver Builder has. Elementor was developed for a long time without even a paid option. And so a ton of the features were there. But let's go ahead and just do what we're doing everywhere else, is trying to get 3 images, or 2 images side to the left and then text to the right. So I'm going to go with some columns. It's going to tell me the height and whatnot. I can change all of that stuff. Now I want to add an image. And just like Beaver Builder, you have to drag it over, which is not a problem. Choose my image. Then add a second image, drag it over. And then we want text. That's heading and text editor. It has dummy text for me. So that is our module. Right, that is our page. So it works, looks good. And to get out of this, we view page. So it looks exactly like what we laid out, which is awesome. And like I said, there are a ton of modules in the free version. But let's go and compare. We'll activate the pro version. Okay, now I have the pro version active. Let's go back to my pages. And I know it had an ugly title. There it is. But it does let me know, just like Divi and Beaver Builder, that this is an Elementor page. So I'm going to edit with Elementor. So this shows you, it adds this section here called Pro, and it shows you all of the extra features that come with the Pro version. which is a decent amount. Elementor also has a massive community. It has 130 or so third-party modules. So after this, compare the price difference between the Pro version and the paid version, and Elementor might have all of the functionality that you are looking for within a page builder. Again, I could spend a ton of time on this, but the goal is to just show you the interface quickly. Features are a totally different topic that I could probably do a video on. So let's move over to SiteOrigin. So let's move over to SiteOrigin. So SiteOrigin is in the repository too. I'm going to go ahead and add that. Alright, so let's go to Pages. We're going to hit Add New. And this is slightly different. The other ones have a button. This one, you just hit Page Builder here, but let's just call it Page Builder. Nice to spell. That'd be cool. Alright. Okay, we want to add a row. We'll make it, we want to do a 3-column, just like the others, and hit Insert. So now we want to add a widget, and we'll just go with image. Now we want to add another, we can, but obviously this is the back end, which is not as good as an interface as the others because you can't see what you're doing. I'm going to go ahead and hit Publish, or actually I'm not, I'm going to hit the Live Editor button. Okay, so by default it throws you into the back end, but now we can get into the front end here. Want to add an image. Drag it over here. Select the image. Looks good. Not trying to give this a bad rating here, but it's just not as obvious on how to do some of these things. It's not quite as quick. You still get the same result, but the interface is not as quick. Just like the other ones, you have modules, you have settings, row settings, page builder layouts. So we could export these things if we wanted to. We have the mobile, what's it going to look like mobile, things like that, which the other ones have. But this is one that is very popular because it has been around for a very long time. They don't have the community behind it like what Elementor and Beaver Builder have, though, from my experience. I hope you enjoyed my demos here, and continue reading my article, which I will link to in the YouTube video.